And we're live. Welcome, everybody. My name is Matt. I am from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday. Every Monday, we are live right here on YouTube, hanging out with you guys, talking Royal Caribbean cruises and really everything happening in the cruise world together. So thank you for joining us here. We have a lot of people in chat already. Some folks already stopping by a little earlier. We were having a little chit-chat in the chat, but good to see everybody here. Hello, Tony Diaz, Axel in the house, Steve Cohen, what's going on? Juan L'Oreal, what's going on, Juan? Good to see you. Dave Lucas, good day, mate. It's been a while, Dave. Matt Rurick, hello. Oren is here. Wendy joining us as well. Brogan back in the house. Susan Westfall, hello. Ken Lesko, hello. Mark the Shark is here. Kim Oakland, good to see you, Kim, as always. We've got Todd Cohn. Beth Dickerson from MEI Travel is here. How are you, Beth? Hope all is well. Brett Chafee in the house. I hope everything is... You know what? I was going to say I am hoping everything is great in Southern California. But of course, we know, Brett, it's always great in Southern California. It's always beautiful. JJ is here. Caitlin, hello and welcome. Misty, hello. Annette Jackson is here. Michelle is here. Ex-Captain Mike 5, what's going on? Don Goldstein, Commander. Good to see you, sir, as always. Trisha from Northern California, hello. We have so many friends here. This is an amazing start to our broadcast. Rich O from MEI Travel is here. What's up, Rich? We've got Carlos, and Carlos actually is our first question of the day. We're going to jump right in. I also want to alert everybody, there is breaking news going on right now. Carnival Cruise Line just announced about a couple minutes ago, they too have canceled their December 2020 cruises. Now, Royal Caribbean announced that earlier this evening, a couple hours ago, but now all the major cruise lines have canceled their cruises. Norwegian announced it this morning. MSC and Royal Caribbean announced it right at 4 o'clock, and now Carnival has just announced. So there will be no December cruises for the major cruise lines. All right, we'll get into that in a minute. More on that. But let's answer Carlos's question. Hi, Matt. Looking to book my first ever Alaska cruise. What are your top 3 must-do on an Alaska cruise? Oh, wow. Great question. I think you've really got to look at the glaciers, and you've got to evaluate, is it worth spending the money to go to the glacier? Going to the glacier is the number one thing to do. It's also it's the most expensive thing to do. It's going to cost you you're going to spend about the money you would spend on a Caribbean cruise to go do an excursion that brings you to a glacier, but there's nothing else like it. So I would say that's number 1. Number 2 is walking around Skagway. Skagway is one of the most pretty ports you can visit. It's got that small town feel. It's an Alaska town feel. Really, really nice. I think that's a big one. And number 3, something fun for the whole family, sled dogs. You get to meet the sled dog puppies, go for a sled dog race. Really, really nice. Can you recommend any really good seafood restaurants for Alaska? I struck out so bad with this when we went there, Carlos. We went there. I thought it'll be fine. I'll just pull up Yelp on my phone, and we struck out. So I'm actually I'm not sure if anyone in our chat can recommend some good restaurants in any of the Alaska ports to dine at, because I would love to see that. Ocean Time is here. Good day, mate. Pippa from Ocean Time in the house. Hope all is well with you, Pippa. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stephanie Hudson is here. Welcome, Stephanie. Brogan, have they announced the shows on board Odyssey yet? They have not. They have not. Dave Kazarian, is the Concierge Lounge under Brilliance open to Diamond Plus? It is not. The Concierge Lounge is available only to Suite Guests and Pinnacle members. The way you know if it's open to Diamond Plus or not is if it's a Concierge Lounge, it's not available to Diamond Plus. Let me reverse that. Get that backwards. If it's a Suite Lounge, it's available to Suite Guests and Pinnacle. If it's Concierge Lounge in name, then it is open to Diamond Plus. So whatever the name is, that's how you know what it is right there. Let's see. 2 Hokies got notification my December cruise is canceled at 6:46 today. Yeah, I'm not sure where you live, 2 Hokies. It came at 4 o'clock Eastern. That's when I posted it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. But of course, the big news of today is that Royal Caribbean did indeed cancel its December sailings. The good news, if you want to look at it from a good news standpoint, the good news is they were canceled not because there's a no-sail order, but because Royal Caribbean wants to make sure they're getting all these new protocols, all these new rules in place, and they need more time to do so. So as a result, they canceled their December cruises. It wasn't as much of a surprise following the fact that Norwegian canceled their December cruises. And as I've said before, when one of the big three, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, or Carnival, cancels cruises, the others usually follow suit. So in this situation, that was again proven correct, and yes, the December cruises were canceled. I can't say I am shocked by this. I can't say I'm really that surprised. I think some of us hoped that there would be maybe a ship or two that would still be able to sail in December, but I think the December cruises were really predicated on the no sail order being lifted last month compared to this month. But nonetheless, we're still moving in the right direction. If you can believe that, there's no such thing as a good canceled cruise, but this is about the closest thing we have there. James Gatton is here. With most of 2020 cruises being canceled, do you think Royal will come out with different shows that will kick off the restart of cruising? Different shows on board the ship? No, I don't, James. And I base that because a very similar question was asked to Royal Caribbean Senior Vice President of Entertainment, Nick Weir, and he said no. Essentially, they have no money to spend on it. And it's right now in their current situation, they have essential spending and everything else. And new shows fall into everything else. So I don't expect that to be the case. Next question is from Dale. I'm booked on January 4th on Mariner of the Seas. Do you think we will get to go? I really don't know, Dale. It's too early to be able to know the answer to your question. Not the answer you're looking for, but we're waiting for what is going to happen here with these restart plans. When will these test sailings go? Don't forget, guys, the test sailings are one of the major components. I actually wrote about this at realcaribbeanblog.com today, but there are three major components for cruises to be able to restart. Number one, which is theoretically happening now or should be happening soon, would be testing the crew members and building testing labs on board ships. That's step one. Step two is to conduct test sailings. These are sailings which have volunteers on board who are basically go through all the protocols. It's a dry run. They go through every protocol possible. It's run like a normal cruise, but they have a variety of what's the word? Not options, but they go through every possible scenario on there. That's number two. And then number three is then if those all go well, then the cruise line applies for a conditional sail certificate to allow them to be able to sail. So, LSU, you don't have to ask if you have a question. Just jump right in and ask the question, my friend. It's good to see you, though. Aristotle, do you think cruising from Rome would require a 14-day quarantine prior to sailing? That's a really good question, Aristotle. I think, again, we're still too far out to know the answer to that one. I mean, the answer is I don't know, and I don't know that we'll get an answer on that anytime soon. Pam Morton, and hello, Kathy Drew. Pam writes, I'm really thinking my allure January 31 is gone soon. I was really looking forward to taking my sister on Royal for the first time. Hey, listen, I've been in a very similar situation, Pam. In fact, I'm going to say this, guys. Last week, I booked cruises in December because I thought they were actually going to happen, and now they're canceled. But it's, listen, you might have to obviously change your plans up. It stinks. Nobody wants to do that, but yeah, it is what it is here. So, but I'll tell you, listen, while it does stink, I hope you have an opportunity to rebook, take advantage of some of the rebooking options there, and be able to hopefully still get that cruise in with your sister, because that does sound like a really fun cruise to do. Maria Molina, I am going to have my vows renewal on January 21, Symphony of the Seas. What do you recommend I should cancel? No, I would say keep waiting for it, Maria. My recommendation, generally speaking, if you're comfortable with the idea of going on a cruise with some of these changes that we're hearing about, if you're okay with that, and I am, then I would say hold on to it. But if you're not okay with it, if some of these, some of these protocols don't jive with you, you can cancel. But I would say your best bet is actually to hold on here until Royal cancels on you. That'd be my advice. But again, that depends also on, number one, do you want to go on the cruise in its current form? And, of course, being okay with some of these protocols. And it's okay if you're not, by the way. This is not, passing judgment on anybody, so. Dennis, with less capacity, who gets to stay and who gets the boot? Good question, Dennis. We don't know the answer to that one yet. Royal hasn't said anything about that. There's a lot of possibilities that are out there. It's all guessing and speculation. The answer to your question, Dennis, is we don't know because Royal Caribbean has not said how they're going to handle that situation. That XRP guy, do you think we will sail in April? I have a Symphony cruise booked for April 10th, 2021. XRP guy, the answer to your question is the same for anybody's cruise they have booked right now. Whether your cruise is in April, January, July, next 2022, no one really knows. And I mean this, nobody knows when cruises will actually restart. Now, we have a pretty good idea right now. We're close because we have a time window, and certainly there's we've gone from theoretical to probable, but it's still not clear. Will that be January? Will that be February? A lot of this is going to depend on, of course, the CDC getting approval. This is not just the floodgates opening up, but don't take that as like, oh geez, Matt just told me my cruise isn't going to happen. No, not necessarily. I mean, it very well still could happen, but it's still too early to know. Alan Agor with our first super chat of the evening. Thank you, Alan. Thanks for all the awesome info as always. Ready to go underway. 182 days till a 2-bedroom aqua theater on Allure, Star Class, and Perfect Day. All right, hang on a second, guys. I need to take a note. Note to self. Make friends with Alan Agor. Okay, good. Sorry, I just had to take a look care of some personal business here. Good to see you guys. And thank you, Alan, again for the super chat. Very kind of you. John Bennett, I need to book airfare, but worried about what time we'll get off the ship with testing protocols. That's a good question, John. I would tell you at the very least, I would not book anything before noon if you want to be very safe. I have a hard time believing you wouldn't be off the cruise ship by noontime or so. And the good news also, John, is that a lot of the airlines have very flexible cancellation terms right now and change terms. So I would look at when that, how far out you can change your flights. As an example, JetBlue, I love JetBlue. I had a flight booked. I was supposed to go up to Connecticut yesterday. We canceled it on Thursday, and no problem at all. A lot of the airlines are waiving cancellation fees and change fees. They have a little flexibility there. Lisa Van Gebert is here. Welcome. Lisa's in Alaska ports. Eat in the main dining room. You're not a fan of the Alaska food? My goodness, I love eating local food. I mean, look, not McDonald's local food, but I mean, something Alaska. And welcome, Alaska. But her must-do is kayak whale watching. Nice. I think that's a great idea. Steve Collin, what's up, Steve? When do you think Royal will release what ships will sail in January 21? That's a good question. So I know what you're... At first, they already announced that, but you're asking, when will they announce their restart plans? It's a great question. I have no earthly idea. As far as I know, there is no information about when that might be. We're still waiting to see on that. So, yeah. Juan, do you have the map of Labadee, like the one of Coco Key? I do. Yeah, it is on the blog, Juan. Send me a message after this if you can't find it, but I posted it sometime in 2019. I'm pretty sure they updated the map. It's fairly recent, and it doesn't change all that much. It's not like they built new highways over there or anything like that. But there should be a map on the blog, no question about it. So, Paul and Kathy Grigg, hello. Any concerns about ports being closed even after Royal Caribbean begins sailings? That is an interesting question, and a lot of people there's been a lot of speculation about that exact question. What my opinion has always been, when the cruise lines are ready to sail, the ports, or at least some ports, will be open to take their business because they're hurting financially. They rely on the cruise industry. I firmly believe there will be opportunities there. So don't read too much into these protocols, especially the land protocols, because a lot of the rules that are being set up in these different countries for tourists tend to focus almost exclusively on people that fly in, and cruise ship guests are rarely mentioned in them. So, Ron Ladowski with an epic super chat. Woo! Thank you, Ron. Buy a Labadoozy on me on your first cruise in 21. Cheers, Ron. It's water tonight, guys. Cheers, Ron. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, my friend. Lakita is here. Since Christmas cruise was canceled, I have my honeymoon trip on Symphony next July to look forward to. That's the bottom line. You got to have something else to look forward to. Have something to keep you going there. So I'm sorry to hear that you're obviously not able to go on your Christmas cruise, but at least there's something else to look forward to. That helps. It does help pass it makes the sting of the canceled cruise a little bit easier to bear. So, yeah, today's cool to me. I'm wearing long sleeves, guys. Long sleeves in Florida. It is actually kind of Chilly this evening, although now I'm going to turn the fan on because it's getting a little warm in here. But yeah, it's winter has arrived for at least one day in Florida. By winter, I mean we have a high temperature of like 72. So like for us down here, that's pretty darn cold. It gets below 70. Legit, I'm not even joking anymore. There are Floridians who freak out, who lose their mind, and they go crazy. Okay, they're not all named Brandon Owen, but a lot of them are. And these Floridians down here can't take temperatures below 70. And when the high temperatures like in the 60s, you would think that we live in Antarctica, but it's true. Lisa says, please do a group cruise out of Galveston. Look at all these Texans here, deep in the heart of Texas. I would love to go back to Galveston. I've been to Galveston since 2014, which means, Lisa, I have not had Whataburger since 2014. That is a long time. I would love to go back there. I think, you know what? I don't say it's my promise, but when you get Alert and the new terminal over there, that you can make a really good argument for a group cruise over there. So I would love to check that out. Michael S, 72 degrees. Stop it. It's freezing in Boston. Listen, my friend, I don't mind it. I love it. I relish it. I say bring the temperature. I love freezing, snow, and all that. But Floridians are ridiculous. They can't take it. But it is an opportunity to wear long sleeves because 70 doesn't. It's chilly. Maddie says, do you know if they'll be keeping the amount of passengers linked through August have a cruise and symphony then? Good question. My understanding is the lowered capacity on cruise ships will very much be a fluid situation. It'll vary from ship to ship. It will not be a fleet-wide percentage. It will depend on the ship. And we don't know exactly how long that will actually last. Like, how will it always be at X%? Will it go to Y%? Will it be like a roller coaster? We simply don't know, but it will be fluid. It will not be a fixed thing, if that makes you feel any better. And we definitely do not know when it will go back up to 100%. With all these new protocols, with all these new rules related to cruises being able to start up, every single one of them, guys, is subject to change. That is an overarching theme when it comes to what the CDC set up. Because they recognize, the CDC that is, they don't know what they don't know. And they're not going to set up these, some sort of rigid rules and then realize when cruises actually start up again, oh, that was a mistake, that needs to be changed. They didn't want to get into that. So instead, they said, listen, we're going to do our best to come up with this is the framework here, but subject to change. And that is really important right there to keep in mind. So make sure you understand that with all of these. And when it will change, it's anyone's guess. It's based on a variety of factors, a number of things going right or not right, how well things go, the state of coronavirus across the world in general. All of those things come together, and that forms the basis for how these things may or may not change. So, let's see here. Next up, our next question is, Miles, how do you feel about a Disney World excursion? Good question, Miles. I don't recommend it. We had our friends from touringplans.com write actually a guest review of a similar excursion that Royal Caribbean offers, in which you visit Walt Disney World as a port stop. Like your cruise ship stops in Port Canaveral, you go off to do there. It's a terrible value is the problem. To go to Disney World for a day in which your cruise ship gets in at whatever time in the morning, you get to the parks too late. You have only a set amount of time. So the cost for a one-day ticket combined with the limited hours, combined with the fact you have to commute back and forth from Port Canaveral on a schedule, makes it a very poor choice. I would not recommend it. I think you're better off just doing a land vacation to Disney World, maybe taking a cruise out of Port Canaveral and going to Disney before or after the cruise. That's a much better choice. But if you're on a Port Canaveral and say, Matt, I want to do something, go to Disney Springs. You can just take a Lyft or an Uber ride over there. You could go to a Disney water park. That's a great choice, although they are closed right now. But you could go to Disney water park. That's a better value because the water park hours are narrower and you don't need a whole day there in order to get your fill of it. So those are two good choices as well, if that makes sense. And by the way, guys, if there's any political stuff in here, please tag me. Just tag at Royal Caribbean Blog and let me know their name, and I'll kick them out of here. Because as you guys know, there's no room for political talk in here. There's plenty of other places on the internet to discuss it. this is not one of them. So, Brent Ferguson is here. There's a Whataburger in Destin. Well, Destin, of course, in the Panhandle, is basically South Alabama, so I'm not shocked to hear that, but I didn't realize that there is a Whataburger quite that close. That's still like, I mean, what's Destin from Orlando, Brent? It's like 6 hours, something like that. And by the way, hello, Emma. Hope you're well. We're having a conversation. Hi, Emma. That's all I have to say right there. Okay, well, this guy's, we'll just get rid of that guy. Sorry about that, guys. Brian is here. First time here. Welcome, Brian. My cruise to the Bahamas got canceled today. How long do you have to rebook? Great question. You have a little bit of time. You have a couple weeks, I think, November 13th to decide, really, and even then you have a little more flexibility. But you would definitely have between now and November 13th to really make up your mind. So that's about 2 weeks, give or take. A little less than that, but 2 calendar weeks. So you don't have to make a decision today. You don't have to make a decision tomorrow or even anytime this week. So don't feel choose. Oh gosh, future cruise credit, lift and shift. You have a little bit of time to work with. Take advantage of that and make a decision. Just make sure you make it before you lose out on other options. So, yeah, there you go. Angel, going to Alaska in August should be safe. The issue with Alaska is not, well, I mean, obviously you have the COVID stuff. If you're asking, like, will your cruise actually happen? That is still unknown. And the reason why that's still unknown is because the problem is that, number one, you got all the coronavirus stuff, but Canada has closed its ports to cruise ships. They have their own version of the no sail order, if you will. And the problem with that is that in Canada, if Royal Caribbean cannot go to Canada, even if they can sail from the United States, they cannot legally offer a cruise because cruises require a foreign port stop. So it's still a little far away to worry necessarily about what can happen there. But the bottom line is it's not clear yet what will happen, because if Canada is closed to cruise ships in the summer, in August, you right now would not be able to go on a cruise, even if cruises are able to sail from the United States, because again, cruise ships have to stop in a foreign port. It's part of the Passenger Vessel Services Act. If you're really bored and need some encouragement for falling asleep, go read that tonight. I'd also recommend reading the CDC's conditional sail order, 40 pages. It will guarantee put you to sleep, man. They're so dryly written. No question about that. So, hang on, my cat wants to get out of here. There you go. See you later. Don't let the door hit you. David, hi there. On the Oasis of the Sea, December 13th, would you go on the VW buggies from the 70s Excursion in Cozumel? Well, David, if you're December this year, your cruise is canceled. That got announced today. If that's what you're asking. But otherwise, sure, go do whatever excursion you'd like to. I think a dune buggy excursion kind of sounds kind of fun. James, when is lift and shift ending? Right now, November 30th. Now, that could be extended. I don't know. My understanding is once cruises do resume, they would get rid of lift and shift, but that remains to be seen. It very much could be the case, so. Hello, Andy. Welcome. Good to see you here, buddy. Kim, PVSA might be overturned to overt a Canadian port. It could be, Kim. You're right. So what Kim is basically saying is they could get a waiver or some way around the Passenger Vessel Services Act, which I would absolutely welcome. It was a law that was written in the 18th century, or early 19th century. It's based in a world that doesn't exist now. But anyway, the point is that there could be a waiver period related to that. But when it comes to government, and you know this, I mean, who knows what'll actually change or whatnot. So yeah. JP, what's going on? Baron, do you think Royal Caribbean will stagger alternate cabins for distancing? No, I don't think so. It wasn't. That wasn't one of the prerequisites, if you will, or recommendations, I should say, of the Healthy Sail panel. So I don't think they're going to need to, because of course they're limiting capacity of the ship already. So that achieves that. They don't have to worry about who's next door to you or not. So no, I don't believe that'll be the case. It could end up happening to some extent, but it won't be a systematic thing, if that makes sense. Joseph Hewitt, what's going on, dude? This is our first cruise as Crown and Anchor members. Do you have any good info on how the check-in works? Absolutely. So Joseph, check-in is really easy. If the easiest way to do it, Joseph, is you want to do your online check-in before you actually ever arrive at the cruise port. 90 days before your cruise, you can do the online check-in. You just pull up the Royal Caribbean app on your phone, log into your account, check into your cruise. If you could do everything before with your passport, your photo, your credit card on file, dude, Joseph, you're going to breeze through check-in. It's going to be the easiest process of your life. Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. Annette says, of course, Matt would say the dude Bucky sounds fun. He was the one to leave the others in the group in the dust. Listen, I loved that. That wasn't a dune buggy. That was an ATV, and that thing was awesome. I love that. Henry, here in Orlando, Florida. Welcome, neighbor. I also live in the greater Orlando area. Think about a 10-day cruise. Is it true that only 7 days? Yeah, one of the restrictions right now, and eventually that'll go away, Henry, but as of right now, the CDC will not allow cruises over 7 nights. But eventually that'll go away. So I don't know when you're looking to book your 10-day cruise, but at least in the initial period, it will not be there. Kim Oakland with an epic super chat. Woo! Thank you, Kim. Wow, Kim is a legend in here. Legend. I'm trying to decide about urgency for booking shore excursions for the Norway group cruise. Advice. I would tell you, Kim, you got plenty of time. I understand what you're thinking, Matt. No outside shore excursions. Lots of other things there. I would say. I mean, look. I am also a procrastinator when it comes to booking shore excursions. So I preface all of this. I would say that if there's something you absolutely want to do, Kim, if you're looking at those excursions, you're like, Matt, I really want to do that thing. And if I don't do that thing, boy, am I going to be upset. Then definitely book it. If you're flexible, if you're like, yeah, if I eat sardines here or see a waterfall there or what, you know what I mean? If you're a little less, if you're more agnostic or less concerned about it, then you can certainly wait it out. But just like Alaska, I think if there's something that really appeals to you, and you really want to do it, then yeah, absolutely book it ahead of time. I mean, I would say at the very least, I don't think there's much, all right, Matt, get it out. I would not necessarily be booking any excursions before the new year, but again, I'm a procrastinator. I don't think there's anything wrong with booking it this early. I mean, what have you got to lose, really? Nothing. So I say, sure, go for it. That's how I look at the shore excursions in general. And I understand you're right, that there's a different issue with the no outside shore excursion rule potentially applying to our Norway group cruise. So that's a really, really good point. But you have to remember, most people, Kim, generally speaking, most people don't book shore excursions that far. And most people don't plan all that much in advance. There are a lot of people that do, but a lot closer to sailing. So again, if you're talking about booking a shore excursion in January or February for a cruise in July, I think you got a lot of time still to play with. Mike McAvoy, thank you for the super chat. And hello from Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach or Cocoa Cay? Well, I think Cocoa Beach. Hello, Mike. Let's see, 528 is like there. So, hi, Mike. I'm waving to you. I don't know if you can see me from across Florida, but... Maddie, most worthwhile excursion in Aruba? Either go to Palm Beach or Eagle Beach. We had a great time on the... we did a group cruise, a Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise, and we did the... Oh, Annette, what was it called? We did this bus tour. It looked so kitschy. It looked so dumb. Not dumb. What was the word? It was a little cliched. And I was like, I don't know about this. And it ended up being a lot of fun. But if you're going to go just on your own, Palm Beach or Eagle Beach, the way to go right there. Jared, any news about Royal Caribbean's Black Friday specials? Good question, Jared. No. There hasn't been anything announced for that. Typically, and I mean every year that I can recall, Jared, Royal Caribbean does not post its Black Friday deals more than a couple days before Black Friday. Usually the week of. Now, could that change? Sure. But I'll preface it by saying I don't think we even heard what the Black Friday deal was last year until at the most a week before, Jared. Of course, as you know, if I do hear something, I'll post it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, but haven't heard anything yet. D. Gibson, when would you expect Royal Caribbean to reschedule their 8 to 10 day cruises to 7 days? It's an excellent question. One of many excellent questions, and we don't know yet. I don't know, D. It's a good question. I just don't know what to expect because Royal Caribbean has not given any kind of framework or guidance as to when that might be. I think a lot of this is still very much up in the air. They're still working through these kind of things right there. So, yeah. Tiffany, are there any more additions or phases to Perfect Day Cocoa Key? Good question. So the answer was phase 1. It's complete. And right before COVID, Royal was talking about doing like, okay, now let's go for Perfect Day Coco Key 2.0. But I suspect, Tiffany, because of COVID and because they have no money and because they're not going to spend any money on capital expenditures, the answer is absolutely not. The answer is almost certainly they're not going to do it. They're not going to spend another dime there on these kind of any kind of like enhancements, things like that, because they just don't have the money for it. Once cruises really get back up and going, once they start making money again, that's a whole different ballgame. They can revisit it again. But yes, the Ninja Cat is back. Good evening, Mike Pastori. Welcome. JP, favorite thing is to do in St. Thomas. Ooh. St. Thomas, Megan's Bay. Megan's Bay is the best thing to do there. It's a beautiful beach. If you've never been to St. Thomas, go to Megan's Bay. You won't regret it. It's fabulous, amazing, beautiful. Some people go shopping downtown Charlotte-Amalie if you're looking to buy jewelry or some other high-end products. It's not a bad idea. Going downtown, maybe eating something downtown, buying some jewelry there. Again, not a terrible way to spend your time. Certainly water, snorkeling. My other favorite thing to do is to go to St. John's. Take the ferry ride to St. John. St. John is, I think, the most beautiful beach I've ever been to in my life. I'm pretty sure it was. We took the last time, not the last time, 2 times before we were in St. Thomas. We took the ferry over to St. John. We picked up the ferry in Red Hook, took it over there. It's like a 10-minute ferry ride at best. And we got there, and it was stunning. Beautiful. We went to Cinnamon Bay Beach. It was incredible. I would love to go back. I tried to go back last time. We failed on that one. 3rd time's the charm. But I would definitely recommend that. But if you've never been to St. Thomas, go to Megan's Bay. That's easy peasy. You'll go there. You won't regret it. Blair Fox, what's up? I'm taking my first roller coaster cruise with my 14-year-old niece on Mariner in August 21. Can you please tell me some things that we can do on the ship and in the Bahamas? Absolutely, Blair. So the ship has a lot going on there. You've got Izumi Hibachi, great specialty restaurant you can purchase and go to. There's the Skypad. I'm sure your 14-year-old niece would love to do that. It's the virtual reality bungee excursion, or experience, I should say, not excursion. That's a lot of fun on the ship. You got the dance parties on the rail promenade. Those are fun as well. Do sail away from the helipad. That's a great time there. You've got the flow rider. You have water slides. You're going to love Mariner in the Seas. Things to do in the Bahamas, I would tell you, unfortunately, some of these answers are hard to give you because it's like everything I'm telling you is from pre-COVID, and I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. But I can tell you that a great beach day, if you're looking for that, would be to go to Blue Lagoon Beach. It's a little island that you can take you get off your ship, board a ferry, it takes you to a little small island. There's animal encounters there. There's a beach as well. I'm sure your 14-year-old would love to do that. It's a good choice as well. And of course, when you're visiting Perfect Day Coco Key, take your niece to the Thrill Water Park. It'll be like the best money you ever spent. You'll love it in there. Stacy Lamp was Independence amplified. Yes, she was the first Royal Caribbean ship to be amplified. Tiffany Dixon, hello. Do we know what will happen with formal nights as of yet? I am not expecting any changes to formal nights, quite frankly. I don't have any reason to believe so. Anything will change. Jamie is here. What do you think will be the one thing missing from a cruise once sailing starts again? Well, we know that karaoke is not going to be happening, at least in the beginning. That's actually not that strangely, because what happens at karaoke? You're very loud, your voice is carrying, and of course you're, from COVID. That would be the one thing I can think of that's a stand out for a lot of people. Sari wants to know, sorry, Sari, I apologize. Do you think they will extend FCC's expiration dates? I have asked them about this, and thus far the answer is no. I think a lot of the answer may depend on how much longer this goes, how much longer until really cruises restart. Because the issue, of course, is people want to use their FCCs, but if there's no sailings you can go on, it's pretty useless. But I think at the end of the day, if cruises are restarting and you have an opportunity to use them, they'll allow you to. If not, they will push it back. But I think they're waiting for that to occur there. JB, are you filming in the same room? New camera view. No, different room. I'm in Studio B. Studio A, that's the fancy word for my guest bedroom versus my office. They're coming tomorrow to replace the floors in my studio. Theoretically, tomorrow night, I'll be back in my studio. Granted, I have to move all my stuff over there, but next time I'm live on YouTube, guys, Theoretically, I should be back in my regular setup, although the bookcase is gone. That was destroyed. I have to get a new one, but at least I'll be back in my office. You'll be able to see the posters will be there. I think. I don't know if they ripped those apart. They may have done that, but I can buy new ones. Keith Bruce, what's up, Keith? Has COVID limited some of the excursions on a cruise? I noticed on my May cruise, the options are smaller than normal. At the very least, Keith, we're fully expecting Royal Caribbean to simply say that you're not allowed to do excursions outside of the cruise line, because that way the cruise line can vet any of the operators to make sure they can be done in a safe manner. Perhaps that is what you're seeing. Also, perhaps you're just too far out, Keith, to be able to see that. May is still fairly far away. I mean, that's what, 7 months away. So, there's a little bit more time to go there. But at the very least, we're expecting that. Now, could that change? Absolutely. Harold Pearl, I hear the longer cruises are not sailing. We have a back-to-back on Oasis in March. You think we can still take that? Yeah, I don't imagine there's been no regulations that I have seen or recommendations or protocols that address back-to-back cruises. Number one, it's a very small percentage of people that do that. And number two, I didn't see anything that prohibits that. So, yeah. Tony Diaz. Tony, you miss my singing. Tony says, no karaoke. In a way, that's kind of a blessing if you're on a cruise with Matt. Listen, number one, Tony, I don't do karaoke on a cruise ship. Why? Because I save it for you on here, my friend. It's all about you, Tony. And I make sure that when I'm here live on YouTube, I bring you the high quality production value and entertainment that you expect from Royal Caribbean Blog. So I am here to make sure I deliver on that. So, JP, what are they doing with the Windjammer? At least in Singapore, and again, we don't know what's going to happen here. In Singapore, it's open. It's going to require it's going to be highly encouraged to have reservations. And there'll be no dinner option because there's less people on the ship. Again, what happens here remains to be seen. But Stacey, do you like Oasis or Navigator better? I like Navigator better, but by a smidge. The new Oasis reverb is really good. I think I still like Navigator like this much better, like that much. But it's like, honestly, they both ships have been refurbished. Both ships have so much great stuff going on, and it's an Oasis class ship. Yeah. Navigator, but really flip a coin, because I don't think you're making a bad choice either way. Mr. Mazda Boost, welcome. Good to see you here. Welcome. Jason, good evening. Can you tell me what's the coffee package? Does that cover Starbucks? Basically, you get premium coffee from Cafe Promenade or the main dining room, anywhere they sell espresso, except for an actual Starbucks kiosk. So, if you're on Harmony of the Seas or Oasis of the Seas or Mariner of the Seas, and they actually have a Starbucks kiosk, with the green mermaid logo, that does not work there. However, if you go to Cafe Promenade and you order a latte, that is included there. Does that make sense? Kenny, do you ever hear people complaining that non-Starbucks are hard to find? No, I don't think so at all, actually. That's a good question, Kenny. No, I think most people really quickly figure out, oh, it's Cafe Promenade. And Cafe Promenade is usually much more better. It's more centrally located than the other locations there. So, Lisa, these cancellations are why you need an MEI travel agent. All you have to do is reply to the email with what you want to do, and then it's magically done for you, right? Listen, Lisa, and full disclosure, MEI Travel is our sponsor of RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, but I could not agree more. My heart goes out to people who book these cruises on their own. If you did it before COVID, anyway. If you did it after COVID, sorry, you should have read the memo, on that. But book with a travel agent, my goodness, I agree 100%. I love just getting... I did this evening when Royal canceled. I texted my travel agent, said, okay, can you do this and this and this? Okay, that's it. Then I put my phone down. I don't have to call Royal. I don't have to chase after money. I don't have to do any of these things the travel agents do. It really is like magically done for you, Lisa. Great way of saying that right there. Completely agree. Kirsten wants to know, what's the best feature on Enchantment of the Seas? Boy, that's a good question. There's a couple different things that stand out to me. You got the Viking Crown Lounge. You have the Oasis Bar, which is the only bar it's a nice bar on the pool deck. It faces the ocean. Really nice views there. They have their own little trampoline area. Got some good choices over there. So, Mary Peloso wants to know. Sorry, Mary, I missed your question there. We're going on a lure in May and plan to spend most of our time in the ship. How do you think they'll handle the kids club with social distancing situation? That's a really good question. And the reason why I say that is because there's been like no firm information about how that's being addressed. And maybe that the answer is, well, they'll just, require masks like anywhere else on the ship, and that's it. Like, same way you go to school, same way you'll have that. I don't know. The answer is we don't know, but the longer answer is we may get more information a little later on, which I guess is kind of inferred when I say I don't know, but I don't know. The point is we don't know yet. There's been no specific protocols that I have seen addressing Adventure Ocean individually. That could definitely change, but as of right now, I'm not seeing anything related to that. And I think in Singapore, where Quantum of the Seas will be restarting in December, they don't let anyone under 18 to get on that ship. I could be wrong. Or is that the new CDC rules that don't allow anyone under 18? I forget, or that might be for the test sailings. Yeah, anyway, don't disregard that point, guys. Just, will the court will instruct the jurors to disregard the previous comment of Matt's rambling? Thank you. We'll wait and see on that, so. Kids Club during social distancing. Yeah, Mary, wait and see on that. I know those same person, but just want to make sure we clear that up. Dennis, I have booked a 14-day Panama Canal cruise with Sue from MEI Travel on Radiance out of LA on October 1st. What are the chances? No one knows, Dennis. It's a really good question. I wish I could tell you have a X percentage chance, but I have no earthly idea. Nobody does, Dennis. There is nobody on this planet who knows that. I don't even if you had, Michael Bailey, Royal Caribbean's president and CEO, and we pumped him full of truth serum. Okay, I'm like, all right, we're gonna get an answer here to Dennis's question. All right, Michael Bailey, why don't you tell us what are the chances of Dennis's cruise going? And he would say, I don't know, because they don't know yet. I really don't believe they know the answer to that one. Juan, if we can get more personal, what do you have booked for 21? Will you hit Pinnacle and the double points? No, I will not hit Pinnacle even with double points. Unless I cruise like every day. I have Brilliance in January. I have Harmony in March. I have Anthem in July, the Royal Caribbean Blog Group Cruise. I have Harmony in November, another Royal Caribbean Blog Group Cruise. I have a cruise. I just booked a cruise in June on Allure of the Seas. I'm missing something here. Did I book Christmas next year? I forget. I have some other ones there. I think I have like 6 or 7, maybe 8 now with that Allure cruise that I have booked there. So, but yeah, it's not being personal, one, because let me tell you this: I'd volunteer the information anyway at some point. So, no worries. Andy, are you doing the test sailings? I have asked to be part of the test sailings via the PR department, but I have not heard anything back. There's nothing that I'm seeing yet about, there's no form to fill out. I think it's one of those don't call us, we'll call you kind of situations. That's my sense of it, but yeah. Pam's like, I can't wait to see your first vlog when all these things. Dude, I'll probably not sleep that first night. It's gonna be 24 hours of just covering everything. Kenny, working on moving all my next cruises to MEI since the other unnamed partner is not returning anything since July. I'm sorry to hear that, Kenny, but I'm hoping that at the very least you have the opportunity now to move on you've moved to a better place. But thank you for supporting our sponsor, Kenny. We do appreciate that. Dennis, any opinions on how Windjammer will change? Well, in Singapore, on Quantum of the Seas, they will not require, but strongly recommend reservations, kind of similar to My Time Dining, where you can make a reservation or you can show up and wait. You'll be ordering via QR code menus on your table, so you can use your phone to order. And then, in addition to all of that, there is no dinner service in the Windjammer because there's less people on board. You don't need to. There's other places for that. So, hope that makes sense. Mark wants to know, do you have a favorite drink in the pub? All right, guys. Everybody in chat, what is my favorite drink in the pub? I'm not being facetious here, Mark. Everyone knows me so well in here. I think everybody knows exactly what my favorite drink in the pub is. Actually, Candy Cane Lava Flow is my favorite drink, but not what I usually order. There you go. Jason Peterson got it. Kraken and Coke. But Kenny, see, it would be Lava Flow if I wasn't concerned about like 900 calories per drink, but it's a great one. Yeah, no. Kraken and Coke is my go-to order. Kraken, rum, Diet Coke, every day, all day. I do love Lava Flows, but I can't, I got the dad bottle already, man. I can't be drinking that all the time. But my go-to drink in the pub, And they don't have a blender in the... Do they have a blender in the pub? I can't recall. I don't think so. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I always get Crack and Coke in the pub. When I'm on the pool deck, yeah, that's definitely a lava flow situation, Kenny. You're absolutely right. Okay. Michelle B. Michelle wrote shots? Okay. Just because I have a shot or two doesn't mean it's my favorite go-to drink, but... Brad Pitt... Scott, Brad Pitt face, not body. Oh, man. Talk about a backhanded compliment. I mean, you're not wrong, but my goodness. All right. 1 minute, guys. Note to self. Don't ask the chat for what I like to do. Got it. Tony Diaz, after a few lava flows, do you really count calories? That's a good point. It's still, Mike Vestori. Kathy L is here. We were told we have back-to-back, if same room, don't have to get off and on the ship again. Has that changed with COVID rules? We don't know yet, Kathy. It's a good question. It's one of many, many logistical questions there. Let me put it this way. There's no rules that I have seen related to a scenario like yours where you're doing a back-to-back cruise. But that still doesn't mean that might not change. It's just nothing has been announced yet. So, like so many other, there's going to be a lot more protocols coming. You have to remember that, we're still kind of early in this. While the Healthy Sail Panel 74 recommendations are out, those address the most important aspects of the cruise, like how to keep people healthy and safe. The other things, like what happens in a back-to-back and what happens if the cruise ship is oversold, and those kinds of things are more logistical questions, which are still valid questions, but those are almost secondary in scope, and certainly the kind of questions we'll get answers to, probably, I would imagine, closer to when sailings actually do begin. So, Christian wants to know, do you think we'll be able to do Spring Break 21 on a cruise? I don't know, man. It's a good question. I hope so. I would think by March, there will definitely be some sailings going on, but I don't know to what extent and how that'll all look, quite frankly. It's a little too far out to have a good sense of how that's working over there. So, Michelle Pro says, I'm not a big drinker, but you definitely have inspired me to try some Kraken on our Celebrity Apex cruise in April. Listen, Michelle, I don't love rum ordinarily. I was not a big rum fan, but that rum, Kraken rum, will change your life for the better. Kraken rum, Diet Coke, you'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it. Scott J says, cruise calories do not count. That is illegal. Forgot about that. Brent Ferguson confirms that Amanda says yes to the blender in the pub. That's what I thought, but for some reason I couldn't visualize it, but I think you're absolutely right. So thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. Hi, Amanda. Miss you. Hi, Emma. Miss you. Hi, Olivia. Miss you. There, I got all the Fergusons that I miss. Oh, goodness. Tony Diaz with the super chat. Tony, thank you so much. Big hug to all the wonderful travel agents in here. Now would be a good time for a shameless plug, right? Absolutely. And of course, our sponsor of RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com is MEI Travel. They do such a great job, and I use them. I think everybody chooses. I think number one, everyone chooses a good travel agent. You got nothing to lose, everything to gain by using one. And of course, if you're looking for a good recommendation, I do recommend MEI Travel. Absolutely true, Tony. Thank you. Jason Peterson, there's something about Coke and Kraken that's so good, you have to try it. It really is good. It really is. Tiffany, my 1 year anniversary is on February 14th, and we'll be on Independence. It's easy to go to Labadee and Falmouth. We've never been to either, and it's just what to do there. So, Labadee is a beach day. I get a cabana. You'll love that. Thank me later. You'll love it. Get a cabana. You're good to go. Falmouth, I have not found anything great yet, Tiffany. The best thing I've done in Falmouth, which has been a number of years, and I don't think you can do it right now anyway with the whole new rules, but was it the Hilton Rose Hall? Sorry, the Hilton Rose Hall? Oh man, it's been so long. There's a Hilton all-inclusive resort. I think it's not Rose Hall. It's something like that. Anyway, that was my go-to, but it's kind of far. Yeah, unfortunately, Falmouth doesn't have anything that truly I love. Some people really like Doctor's Cave Beach. I've not been there, so I can't personally vouch for it. But a lot of the things I've tried, unfortunately, I've just struck out with. So, Dennis Arman always booked direct in the past, but used MEI for the first time and am sold. There you go. Brent, you got the joke. It was a joke, Brent. I miss you too, Brent. I miss you, Pookie. There you go. Tiffany, are they still working on changing the menu in the main dining room? Remember that? Yeah, so, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a couple months ago, Royal Caribbean CEO Michael Bailey said they were working on a new menu for the dining room. And last I checked, there's been absolutely no updates on that. And Tiffany, there's still been absolutely no updates on that. That's a good question. I don't know about that. So, yeah. Do I see Sharon Stockman in the house? What's up, Sharon? Welcome. Mark Sartoria, any sailings out of Canada for the year that you know of? There are sailings that you can book in 21, but as of right now, Canada is not allowing cruise ships there. In fact, they just canceled. Canada extended its cruise ship ban, their version of the no sail order, through February, which of course is pretty meaningless because there are no cruises that go in February to Canada. But nonetheless, those are canceled, or those are banned. It still remains to be seen what will happen. Usually the Canada cruise season for Eastern Canada is not until primarily late summer, early fall for Royal Caribbean, when cruises start going over there. For Western Canada, it's Alaska, which is the summertime. So still a little too far out to know, but I think even Canada doesn't know the answer to that yet. They're still kind of evaluating. So yeah. Keith Bruce recommends Dunn's River in Jamaica. Yeah, I mean, it is a very popular choice, so I am not disagreeing with Keith on that. It's not my jam. It seems a little too crowded, a little too touristy for my taste. But Dunn's River Falls is by far the most popular thing to do in Falmouth. So, Keith, you're right. I should have mentioned that. You're not wrong on that. Michelle says, really curious on how the Key West vote will turn out, right? So tomorrow, guys, in addition to all the other election stuff going on, the residents of Key West tomorrow are voting on a cruise ship ban. And if that passes, then I guess cruise ships won't be able to go to Key West anymore at some point. I'm not sure exactly how that's worded. So let's hope that does not pass. Let's hope that cooler heads prevail there. So, all right, guys. Last question is from Jamie, who writes, do you let your travel agent reprice during sales, or do you track it through all your sales yourself and then give your travel agent a call if you find a better price? Both, but recently my travel agent has been doing it for me. They're just much better at finding it. Usually when there are new sales, Jamie, most, if not all, I can't say all, I don't want to set up the wrong expectation, but most MEI travel agents, every major new sale will reprice for their clients anyway. Again, I don't want to speak, Beth is here, she can give you a better understanding of that, but they in my experience, they've been repricing it for me. Occasionally I check it out, but I'm also not the type, Jamie, that goes in like every day and does the mock booking to check for prices. I think I used to do that. I kind of got away from doing that. But both is the answer. Either way will work. There have been times in which I have been, someone posts something, I'm like, ooh, maybe there is a price drop, and lo and behold, there is, and I send a text message to my travel agent, and they take care of it. And in a lot of other situations, they do it for me even before I have an opportunity to ask. So it's win-win. Cool stuff. Blair, oh my god, I love your channel and love watching your videos. You seem like so much fun. Do you ever do group cruises? Because I'm down. I'm already thinking about my second Royal Caribbean cruise. Yes, we do. There are 2 group cruises, Blair, you can book in 2021. They're available at royalcaribbeanblog.com/events for more information. royalcaribbeanblog.com/events. The first one is in July on Anthem of the Seas in Norway out of Southampton, England. And the second is Harmony of the Seas over Thanksgiving out of Port Canaveral. So both are great. Would love to have you on either one of those, if not both, Blair. Again, royalcaribbeanblog.com/events. And thank you for the very, very nice words there. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here. Really appreciate you being a part of the fun. Check out royalcaribbeanblog.com. Shout out to all my insiders in the chat. I saw Ron Ladowski says, before you go, insider. Yes, if you're an insider, type insider in chat. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you to all our super chatters today. Tony Diaz, thank you for the super chat. Mike McAvoy, thank you for the super chat. Kim Oakland, thank you for the super chat. Ron Ladowski, thank you for the super chat. And Alan Agor, thank you for the super chat. Look how many insiders we got tonight. Jason Peterson, Kenny. Woo! Another super chat coming in. Sharon Stockman. Epic super chat. And she, Woo! And she writes, yes, I'm here. Thank you, Sharon. Well, look how many insiders we got in here. Jamie, Mikey, Mike Pastori. We've got Michelle B, Michelle Prose, Bob Wise, Kim Oakland, Joe Johnson, Mike Pierce, Sharon Stockman, again, wow. Tony Diaz, I don't know who that guy is. Andy Strom, Phil, Mark the Shark, Don Goldstein, Judy Goldstein. Thank you for being an insider, Judy. Appreciate you. Much love. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Check out RealCaribbeanBlog.com tomorrow. Brand new YouTube video coming out. This is I'm getting real with you guys on this video tomorrow, okay? It's the 5 things that I bought for a cruise that were a complete waste of money. I mean, I regret it to this day that I spent the money on it. So 5 things I regret. It's over at, it'll be on our YouTube channel tomorrow. Check that out. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube.
Did I make it?
Yep, you made it.